Hey, Newport Cubs. Welcome to CUBmunnity broadcast number 10, part 2. We have a very special guest here. We have our very own PJ Colson. Mr. Colson, welcome today.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Looking dapper in the button up. I like it.
Aloha.
Aloha. Enjoyable. Go ahead, Boudry.
Okay, well, I guess just to start off, can you tell us a little bit about kind of where you grew up, what that was like?
I was a military brat, so that means I had a parent who was in the military. It was the Air Force, and I grew up moving all over the country and ended up, when I was younger, lived in England for 5 years.
Wow.
It was really cool, Josh, when we went on our Europe trip last year. PJ was on the trip with Finn, and he and Finn went and saw the school he went to school at when he was in London. So Finn got to see that, which is so unique and so cool. I thought that was kind of a fun thing.
It was a great experience. Living in England was wonderful, but also living in places like Alabama, Washington, D.C., Nebraska, California, and you begin to, I think, learn at an early age that no matter what the culture is, there's good people everywhere you go.
That's awesome.
And more often than not, those were the people that would come up and introduce themselves to me at school. You know, when I was the new kid, I didn't know anybody, and it was a great experience.
I've seen you be really empathetic too to your new students, and so I think that there must be something in you that cares for them and longs for them to have belonging in their new environment. So I think it's kind of.
I have a soft spot for the new kid.
I can tell.
I was the new kid. I went to 3 different high schools, so I was the new kid often.
So high school days, I know that you were an athlete. Why don't you tell our viewers the kind of sports and activities you did in high school, middle school?
I loved basketball. That was always something that I loved. I remember practicing basketball in my yard. I wish I had concrete now. I don't have a hoop at my house, but we had concrete then. And I remember this oil spot on the road that I practiced. If I could make that shot in a game again and again and again, we did well. So that was fun. Basketball was great. I played soccer. I played lots of tennis. And when I was in middle school, they didn't have kid league tennis. So I played adult league tennis and had a lot of fun doing that. And then I remember.
Wait, but you went to state for tennis, right?
In California in high school. Yeah.
Wow.
That was very exciting. I think that was my freshman year, and I made the varsity tennis team.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. And we won. It was a very small school. It was about the same size as Newport, 400 kids, and I think that's the best size for a high school. As I got older in high school, the schools got bigger and bigger. My junior year in Washington, D.C., there were 4,000 kids, and I didn't even make the basketball team.
4,000? That's insane. That's like half of Newport.
Yeah.
Must have been a shock going from such a smaller school to such a larger school. Man.
I moved a bunch at that point in my life, and I met those people really quickly who came up to me and invited me to things. And it was okay. It was fun. It was an excellent year to get to do Washington, D.C. and all the things associated with Washington, D.C. while you live there.
Right.
It was fun.
What do you think the most interesting places that you've ever lived in? Through all your moves?
I think each place I found my parents were excellent in terms of getting us out and seeing stuff. Wherever we were, it didn't matter whether it was Alabama or Nebraska, we'd go see stuff. But living in California was great. I love the area. I love the environment that we lived in. We lived in the foothills. But the one thing that ran through the whole time I grew up was Newport, Oregon. I'd come back to visit both sets of grandparents. And I think it's Newport might be my favorite place on the planet.
That's awesome.
You're like outdoorsman extraordinaire. So if you could only pick one of your outdoor activities that you could do the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, hiking, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the most basic. It's the cheapest. You can do it from anywhere. and it gets you to some amazing places. There's lots of stuff that I would horribly miss, but I think if I could do one thing, hiking. That's what got me into most of my outdoor activities.
I want to piggyback on that one. If you could choose, I know you already have a full plate of hobbies and activities, but if you could choose one more to get into and you had the resources to do it, what would you want to do? What would be that new hobby?
I think foil boarding. I don't know if you're familiar with foil boarding. There is a carbon fiber wing they can place underneath a surfboard. And this wing, when you have speed, lifts you up, and you're riding on a very small little wing elevated up about 2 feet above the water. And it allows you to, it's I suppose a form of, there you go.
Like that?
Yeah, but instead of being pulled by a boat, I would be pulled by a kite in the air. And that's done just surfing. The wave is pushing you. So I would do a combination of the waves pushing me and the wind pushing me.
Okay, so this one has like the thing where they're holding on.
And I don't think I'd go there, but
that's so cool.
Anyway, if I could do something, if I had the resources, and I don't right now, but it's expensive, but looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I actually learned Schindelman. He did like kite surfing when he was in Hood River, and I'm like, I want to do that. So I think like that, that's what's really cool about life, and I know that you embody this too, is it's like you can pick up new things later. And I didn't grow up snowboarding or skiing, and my friends are really into it. So moving out here, I'm like, well, I want to go when they do their fun cabin adventures in Bend. And so I've picked it up now as an adult, and I think that's really cool to teach kids that even if you don't do something when you're young, or you're not the best at something, that should never stop you to try something new. Because now I love skiing, and we go a couple times a year, but it took a while for me to get comfortable enough to do it. But now I'm so glad I did,
Excellent.
Yeah. My question. Okay. So you are a foodie. We talk food a lot. What's your favorite thing to eat in Newport? That has to be purchased, not something you can make yourself.
Oh, I definitely love going to the chef's counter at Local Ocean, especially with my family, and sitting down and being able to talk to the cooks and watch the food being made. And it's a spot that we go to a bunch, and every now and then talking to a stranger who's visiting. I think that might be my favorite. And it's as much the food as the atmosphere for me. I like Local Oceans a lot. And I also love the fact that they source their fish sustainably, and you're helping the earth rather than maybe getting your fish from a source that's not the best.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have any of you guys done the dock box yet?
I have. We've done 2, and they're delicious.
Cool. I got my mom one this weekend for Mother's Day. Don't tell her. Ha ha ha. And so I'll pick it up on Friday. So we'll see. So I think that it's a really cool gift, because it's something that's, like you said, it's sustained, it's a sustainable resource. It's done in a sustainable manner. It's supporting a local thing, and it's food. Food's the best gift ever.
You know what was in this particular one? We've had salmon sliders and soup and black cod.
Nice.
Very good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
All right. Well, I got one for you, PJ. Something that I've really admired about you is your relationship with Finn. Just talking to you over the years, I know you've traveled a lot, and he's like your sidekick. You bring him along. He's under your wing. You're teaching him, coaching him up. I'm just wondering if you have like a favorite memory or experience that you two have had together out there.
Ooh, that's hard. We've had a lot. In Yellowstone National Park, there's a creek. It's called Slough Creek, and it is some of the best dry fly trout fishing, I think, in the country. And you have to hike about 8 miles to get to the really good spot. And Finn was pretty little, but he loved fish. And I think by the end of the day, we'd walked 16 miles and caught a bunch of fish, seen a grizzly bear and a wolf. And we went to bed feeling extremely lucky. And I'd love to experience a day like that again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I love that memory. So taking you back to middle school, we always ask, what kind of music were you into?
Ooh, I was into certainly the popular stuff. I mean, I remember on the bus, Duran Duran blaring, and I liked the Beastie Boys and New Order. Some that was kind of electronica music that was new at the time. I remember liking that a lot, and In Excess and the Pet Shop Boys. But I remember discovering these two bands, They Might Be Giants and the Violent Femmes. And I
love the Violent Femmes.
I discovered them in middle school, and it was one of the first times I realized, oh, there's really cool music out there that's not necessarily played on the radio. And at that time, that was really the only way to hear new music. It was the radio. So those two bands weren't really on it, but we had these things called Walkmans. You had a cassette tape that slid into the Walkman, and you had wires that went to a fairly hefty sized box, and you could walk around or even mow yards, because I did that a lot when I was in middle school for money, and listen to Twisted Sister and the Violent Femmes and stuff that wasn't on the radio.
That's cool. I've shared that with PJ before, Josh, that the first time I listened to something that wasn't on the radio was a band called Dispatch, who I'd seen like at least 20 times in the last 10 years. And I felt so like, whoa, like this is my kind of music. And it's cool because they've stuck with me ever since. Like that led me down this trail of listening to not that I don't like, I do not dislike music that's on the radio. And I know I'm going on a caveat, I always do. I don't like when people say, oh, you listen to that, that's not cool, which I know none of us are thinking. But like, I definitely love listening to music on the radio too, but I loved finding my own beat. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a really big part of my life. Do you have any band like that, Josh, that was like, you're like, man, this is my thing?
Not really. I was such a generalist listening. Like I listened to everything PJ has listened to, everything Aaron talked about, you know, classic rock. That's what my family grew up on. So not really. I think I started to develop more of appreciation for music when I started going to live concerts. Like there's nothing like a live concert. I just think that's so cool. And the energy from the crowd and the band, and I just love it. So
nice. What's been one of your favorite, Colson? Your favorite concert?
What's that? Live concerts?
Yeah.
Has to be the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Wow, where'd you see them?
I've seen them in a number of different places. One of the shows in LA, they played with a jazz musician called Branford Marsalis. And that may have been one of the better shows musically I saw. But there were lots of fun times with friends in shows in Portland and Seattle and Eugene.
Cool.
I've seen them a number of times. They're fun. But sometimes what I really like is live concerts that are very small.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a musician called Taj Mahal. And he's I suppose a blues roots musician who started in the 1960s, but he's still playing. I saw him recently in Eugene, but the first time I saw him was in a small club in Alexandria, Virginia, just outside of DC. And
That's cool.
was absolutely incredible. Just he and another guitar player. So completely different experiences, but live music is incredible. And I don't do it enough. It's hard in Newport.
Yeah.
It is. There's been many times where I leave at 3 and I go see a concert and I get home and I drink a lot of coffee and teach the next day because it's a part of who I am, and I love it, and I will always do it. I love live music. That's been kind of the hard part of quarantine, is I had about 4 or 5 concerts already purchased this summer. Not looking good, but that's okay. It's for the safety of our world, you know. So okay, we're gonna move into this or that. Is that cool?
Ready.
Okay, stripes or polka dots?
Polka dots.
Arcade or laser tag?
Arcade.
Sour cream or salsa?
Salsa.
Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
Game of Thrones.
Me too. I don't know. Cookies or chips?
Chips. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
They gotta go together sometimes.
Yeah. Mountains or ocean?
Ocean.
Let's see. The Rock or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
Me too. Aaron said The Rock. What about you, Boudry?
Probably Kevin Hart. He's
So funny. Yeah. Starbucks or LaCroix?
LaCroix.
Chipotle or Taco Bell?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Chipotle.
Museum or movie theater?
Museum.
Sunburn or mosquitoes? Mosquito bites.
I think for the long-term effects, I'm going to go mosquito bites.
Okay. And then my favorite is always sweet or salty.
Oh, that's an impossible question.
The
Sweet.
chips and cookies.
Is it sweet?
Yeah. It was basically the same question worded a different way.
Yeah. So so Colson, Bologna got 17. I think I could have counted wrong. This is like Hogwarts. It's like Hogwarts cut points. I don't really I do okay, but not really that good at keeping track. So you have to beat him, okay? And he said to tell you good luck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, we're going to start with a little movie trivia.
All right.
I'm going to read a question and give you 3 different answers, or 3 different choices to choose from. Okay? So for each one you get right, you get a point. So we're going to start with an old classic. Which Alfred Hitchcock thriller is notorious for its shower scene? Is it Rear Window?
He already knows.
Psycho, or Birds?
B.
B is correct. Psycho. All right, number 2. What's the first word spoken in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back? Is it echo, did, or command?
Ooh, say those again. You kind of came in unclear.
Okay, first one's echo, did, or command.
Ooh, I'm going to go C.
Ooh, that was Return of the Jedi. So the correct answer is echo.
Oh, excellent. Now I'm going to have to go back and take a look.
Okay, here we go. Number 3, what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Was it The Color Purple, Schindler's List, or Saving Private Ryan?
I'm going to go Schindler's List.
You got it. The Color Purple was his last nomination before Schindler's List. So great job. Okay, and these last 2 are both Quentin Tarantino type questions. So
I've heard of him.
Colson loves him too. Boudry loves Tarantino, but I remember Colson and I were giving Russell crap because he had never seen Pulp Fiction, and I think he finally watched it, right, Colson?
And it did. He was underwhelmed. It made me sad.
So sad.
Dang. Well, we got to hopefully we'll give him a new one after this. All right. So your next question is Reservoir Dogs and From Dusk Till Dawn. They both share a common phrase in the movie. So I'm going to read 3 phrases and I want you to choose which phrase those 2 movies share in common. Okay. So the first phrase is the path of the righteous. The next phrase is, do you find me sadistic? And the last one is, okay, ramblers, let's get rambling.
I have not watched From Dusk to Dawn enough. I'm guessing, and I'm going to guess C again.
Yeah!
Yep, got it.
I have to admit, that was a guess.
Nice.
Yeah. Path of the Righteous is Pulp Fiction.
I figured that one.
You know that one?
Ooh. What's that one? Is that Kill Bill?
That's Kill Bill.
Nice. Extra half point for knowing where.
All right. This next one's a little lengthy of a question. I'm going to do a little reading here. So.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hopefully I don't freeze up or my computer doesn't die like last time. Here we go. Your last question. In 1987, Tarantino wrote and directed his first film, My Best Friend's Birthday. Before the film was completed, a fire during editing destroyed the master negative. Tarantino was able to sell the screenplay that in 1993 starred Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. Minor roles: Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Brad Pitt, and Christopher Walken. I want to know what movie that was. Was it Four Rooms, True Romance, or Pink Cadillac?
Let's try True Romance.
Yeah!
Yeah.
True Romance.
That is Josh Boudry's favorite movie.
I remember that one. I like that one.
It's pretty good. It's one of them.
Yeah.
The scene with Dennis Hopper and Val Kilmer.
Both those guys are great.
Dennis Hopper realizes that this is going to be his last few moments and bums his cigarette off Christopher Walken and ends up calling him expletive
Frozen.
names to his face, and it's classic, man. It's good. It's got to have. It's one of Brad Pitt's. Got to be one of his first scenes ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, that was his youngest movie, was Thelma and Louise, I think, Josh.
Yeah, he was in Thelma and Louise.
Was he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He was a hunk in that one too.
Oh, he's a hunk in every movie.
Well, I guess when was Thelma and Louise? Do you guys know?
Ooh, I don't know.
Here.
Okay. Anyway. All right.
1991 was Thelma and Louise.
I think, yeah, I can't remember True Romance was 93, so yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Okay. So are you ready for a little whisper challenge?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're going to switch up the games a little bit. We're going to go one at a time. We'll each do two, Chloe and I. So when I go, I'm going to mute my screen and then say a short phrase, and then you're going to lip read it and say it back.
Ooh, I like it.
He'll give you like 3 opportunities to witness it.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. The first one.
Oh, you're frozen, Boudry. Boudry, go again because you were frozen.
This is harder than I thought.
Okay. What's your guess?
Hi. Don't use skis.
No
No idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't understand.
Oh, and that's what I was going to guess, but I figured that was too obvious. Okay. I've seen that. I've heard that before. All
Okay.
right. Hit me.
Chloe's up.
A piece of cake.
Joe, bingo.
That was a good one.
Time.
On Aaron's, I was like, oh, this next one will be easy. I mean, okay, I was about to say it'll be a piece of cake. All right, you're at 5 points
That would
total.
have thrown him off, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, this next one's got 2 words. Here we go.
It looked like stop now.
You're close.
Ooh, one more time. Oh, I got stuck on stop now, but it's not that. I don't think it is that. What is it? Tell me.
Jump
now.
Jump now.
No, jump cow.
Go, jump cow. Yeah.
No.
Jump cow. Good.
I love eggs too.
Yes!
Chloe, do you watch yourself when you say it? So do I.
I'm like enunciating and I'm like, but my eyes get so big. I'm like, I love eggs.
You guys are very good at this now. You've done it, and I I know I'm gonna watch it after this is all done, but I'm a little afraid to watch it. You know, it's kind of like when I've seen myself surf when somebody's taken video of me surfing. It feels so good, but then you see yourself and you go,
Yee.
oh,
Yeah, that's
it's
what
not
I
as graceful as it felt.
No. Okay, so the last game is my favorite. It's Name That Tune. So Josh will explain it to you as I get it pulled up on the jukebox.
All right, so Chloe's gonna play you some songs. She'll play you a little short segment, and if you can name the artist, you get a point. If you name the song, you get a point. If you name both of them, you get 2 points.
Excellent.
Okay, it's all throughout the decade, so it could just be anything. Okay.
Oh, this decade.
Any decade.
Oh, okay.
It's from like I just look up like top songs of the 60s, 70s, and I just randomly pick one and add it.
Got it.
Okay. This one, Baloney got one part of, but not both. Ready?
Can we go to shopping?
Okay, I'll skip to the middle.
I'm hunting, looking for a comer. This is.
You know?
I don't know. That's too new for me, I think.
Okay.
I like it and I've heard it and I've even quoted it, but I don't know it.
Okay, it's Macklemore Thrift Shop.
Oh, yep.
Okay, ready? Okay, I'm gonna skip.
You come, I need it. You do what you don't know, you will, I won't try. Go downtown and eat it like a vulture. See my.
Don't know it, but I like it.
Okay, Missy Elliott, Work It.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to get the rest of these to beat Baloney. He was all afraid. He thought you were gonna destroy him. So you got it.
You got this, Colson.
Okay,
You have to go back more into the Smithsonian archives for me.
Okay, ready? Cal, skip to the middle.
Is it Tupac?
Huh?
It's Tupac.
Yeah.
California Dreamin'?
Yeah, California
Good
Love.
job.
We'll take it. Okay, next
I
one.
guess that was the Mamas and the Papas.
Oh, there's an ad.
Get a point if you can name it.
Yeah, be a point if you can name the ad. No. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the middle of this one.
I wanna be the one to walk in my sun.
Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun.
Nice. Hey.
That's easy. That's more of my wheelhouse.
Okay, ready?
No Woman, No Cry, Bob Marley.
Nice. Okay, 2 points.
Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Okay.
Man, he is on fire.
Baloney did not know this one, so I think this could be you, okay?
House of the Rising Sun, The Animals.
Yeah!
Dude, what a strong finish.
Yeah, okay, you have 2 left. Ready? Okay.
You know you make me wanna.
Otis Day and the Nights, Shout.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'll tell you where you are right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, don't tell me. It's not about the competition. Hit me.
Never count your cards.
That's
This is the
right.
most
Till the dealing's
recent.
done.
It's done.
Okay, well, this is the most recent song out of all of them. It came out like in the last year, okay?
All right. Oh, I've heard it.
Great, so they gotta be great.
It's Lizzo.
Yeah?
And she has an awesome version of this on Tiny Desk Concert.
Yes.
And I can't remember the name, but
Okay, I'll skip to the middle because I did for Baloney, okay? Oh, not that part. I made the clean version, but you never know. Sorry. No?
I don't know it.
Oh, I just played. It's called Truth Hurts. I meant to go right before, so it didn't work.
That's okay.
Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You beat Baloney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This was
PJ.
fun. Thank you very, very much.
Well, thanks. Before we sign off, do you have any anything you want to share with our viewers, our kids, whoever's watching this?
Yeah, I do. What I wanted to say is there are some kids out there, and I would say a majority of kids producing excellent work under difficult circumstances. We know it's not easy, and to be as organized and motivated as you need to be successful in this system is difficult. And many of you, like I said, the majority of you are being successful and are motivated. I'm super proud of that. This sucks. We're missing a lot, but you're making the best of a bad situation, and we thank you very, very much. We notice. Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
great. Absolutely.
Peace out.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, PJ.